Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so I'm hearing a lot about this source who I guess came out from within the Laker team, summer league team, and essentially said that some things about the Lakers kind of centering everything around LeBron's son, Bronny James, and not having opportunities to showcase themselves properly, and everybody was kind of just waiting for the end of summer league so they can move on, focus on their careers. Um, it's one of those situations where normally I wouldn't take something like this and talk about it too much, but I guess it holds some weight since we've had this conversation. But, I was listening to Paul Pierce at the beginning of his point of view, and he was essentially saying this is what it is, fall back. You know what I mean? These are the two players that they drafted, James and Connect, and everybody else is basically seat fillers. So, get your mind right in regards to doing that and focus on what your responsibility is. Not necessarily trying to be showcased, because that's really what you can expect in a situation like this where you weren't drafted. Yeah, I don't know that Paul Pierce is really all that wrong, to be honest with you. I just think that that's the nature of the situation. I think that's not everybody's cup of tea. You're trying to make a team. Maybe that's not for you. But if you're trying to make a Laker team specifically, then you're judged by not only what you can do on the court, but how you handle these circumstances that surround the court, because that's really what being a Laker is all about. The people on this team they got to manage what goes on in terms of the circus around the team. And so if you can't do that, then you're not the player for this team. And we know that. I've been a fan of this team for a long time, and that is kind of how it's been a good majority of the time. When there's a star in place, there's the media there, and when the media is there, you're going to be picked apart, you're going to be blamed, you're going to have the cameras in your face for whether you like it or not. And if you're not built for that, you're going to struggle here, and that's just part of being a Laker. Now, if you're not set up for that mentally, then you should probably turn down the Laker opportunity. And we've seen players do that left and right. Not everybody's built for this, and it is what it is. Unfortunately, when you're trying to make a team as a summer league guy, you're going to go to whatever team wants you. And if it happens to be the Lakers, then this is the dynamic. And it could be considered unfortunate. But if you do good under these circumstances, then another team will pick you up. And that should be what you're trying to do. Good under these circumstances. And I thought most of the players that I saw seemed to be thriving to the best of their ability. I saw guys get the ball a lot. We talked about it. Some of the guys that got the ball too, I wanted to see the ball in James' hands even more. So this point of view that this particular person is talking about, I would have given the ball to Bronny even more. It'd have been even more about Bronny if I was running things. So be glad I'm not in control of this situation. And it wouldn't have had nothing to do with no politics. I just think Bronny needs to develop his point guard skills, and I don't think we really did that for him. If anything, we were protecting him from making mistakes as a point guard, which I think is backwards. Very backwards. So yeah, they better be glad I wasn't running things. Some of them who did get minutes would not have gotten minutes because Bronny would have been on the floor more, because I wanted to develop Bronny more. So I don't think I'm the right guy to talk to. Don't complain to me about this. I didn't think they got on the ball enough. But just the same, this was my criticism in a way about bringing Bronny in under these circumstances in the first place. I thought he should be under a two-way. I thought he shouldn't be given a 4-year deal, not because of any other reason than he would be eating a roster spot, and we do have other needs to the roster. And we do need to develop some other guys, and we may be putting them in a position like Castleton, for example, to where he's still trying to fight out of a two-way when we know darn well he should probably be in a position to now have a contract with the Lakers. Guys like Max Lewis, who would feel like they may have to do more than necessary to live up to a standard that Bronny's not being asked to live up to because of his circumstance. I just think it creates a dynamic that can create problems for the chemistry of the team and future teams that Bronny's on. Haters developing now a certain despise for him that will come about later on and make it so that it's difficult for him to move around well after his father is moved on from the NBA. So that was my point of view. I just never thought it was smart to get him started like this, you already know he's going to have some favor just being LeBron's son. But when you push him into the league in this way and step him up over people who are working hard, it's going to be resented in an organic way, and it's going to have long-lasting effects that I did not want to see for Bronny. His character as a person doesn't deserve to have the struggles that are likely to come from this being surrounding his name. If he were a pompous type of guy or a different type of flashy energy about him, I think that would be something that would kind of fit the whole what he's going to be getting from this, what's going to be coming his way. But the reality is, this is a humble young man whose personality doesn't fit what's happening around him and to him. So the source said they felt sorry for Bron. They felt like he wasn't ready. I didn't disagree with that at all. I felt sorry for Bronny, and I wanted to see him in a situation where he's not given so much pressure to be so much better than he's actually able to display at this moment. And I think that his development is going to be derailed by this, and I've said it many times. So it's up to him to put in the work and drown out the noise and try to live in the idea that you're building for a future that has nothing to do with this drama. I would tell him to study the Lonzo Ball aura around him when he first got to Summer League and all the different stuff that came with that, and then look at where his career is now. Do you see any of that? No. It's going to be the fundamentals of the game that's going to help him stay in the league, not the hype that initially got him there. So that's what I would tell Bronny. You got to know that this is going to stay for a minute and it's going to go away. This is not a hype that sticks around. You will always be LeBron James' son, but this is the way this hype machine is behaving. It's not, it may get you in the league, but it ain't going to keep you there. If anything, it's going to make it harder for you to stay, because people are going to want you out, and they always going to say you don't deserve to be here, so you're going to have to work harder. So you might as well start the habits of working extra hard right now, or, with all due respect, probably get out before it ruins you. That's what I tell them. If you really don't want to do this basketball thing, bro, you should make that very known. Very known. But if you do want to do this basketball thing, then you know you're coming up against more hurdles in the long run than most players will, because of the easy path that you've gotten in it to start. So, yeah, man, I'm not I'm not in love with this for Bronny. I'm not. I'm happy he's here. I want to see him develop, but I think people are tiptoeing around his development for their own personal reasons, professional reasons. People don't want to tell the truth about him. People want to tell the truth or exaggerate the truth about his underdevelopment so that they can make a name off the hate. It's just a lot of, extras. And then people have their own agendas around this kid, and I think he should be protected from that. And but he's a grown man. He's in a grown man's arena. He's going to be judged like a grown man, and because of the circumstances he's up against, if he is able to overcome it, wow, is he going to be a winner in this league? So it's up to him. He's and hopefully this doesn't ruin his intentions on basketball, as I've said before. But as far as everybody criticizing him, that comes with the territory. It comes with the name. It comes with the fame. It comes with the game, and he's gonna have to understand that, as I'm sure he does to some degree. This doesn't help much, but I really wish Kobe was still around. I wish Kobe was still around to help mentor this young man and work with him on his game, work with him around what's going on there, man. It's one thing, obviously, to have your dad, and of course, we're not trying to disrespect his father as a mentor, but the guidance that I think he would be getting to kind of enrich himself in this Laker thing probably ain't there, because Kobe ain't there. The work ethic that is going to be required for him to overcome is something that he probably should see from someone other than his dad. And to a point, his dad is pushing him into this. So I don't know how great I would see Ron as the person for that role. Someone needs to be able to teach him how to drown out the noise and do the work in a way that's going to allow him to elevate his aura rather than whatever would come with not being better. You know what I mean? And it's going to take an insane amount of work from this young man. Insane amount of work. And he's got to learn to love it, and he's got to learn to be cold about it. And if he is cold about it, he needs to not lose that. His father says that he don't care. I don't know. And I'll tell you like this. in the presence of what is what Bronny's responsible for, and the intentions to live up to the name, I can see a world where the young man would want his father to see something in him that maybe don't come naturally. You keep a stone face, you know what I mean? Nothing bothers me. And then he goes in his room and he struggles with it. But when dad's around, it's like, yo, we good. You know, that could be real, man. And I don't doubt that that's a thing that some kids would have. So, yeah, Bron, Big Bron, you may think that your son doesn't care about much because that's what he needs you to see. But that may not necessarily be what's in his heart, and that may not be how this plays out over time. So, you know, we just got to keep a close eye on the young kid. Hopefully he has the right people around him to drown out the noise and put in the work, man. So that's really what it's about. Drown out the noise, put in the work. And I would tell Bronny this. I personally think he has more fans than he has foes. I think more people like him than maybe we even expected. I've seen a lot of people come to Bronny's defense, especially fans. Bron fans are going to always have his back off the strength of his dad. But there's more people who appreciate the kid, have not forgotten what he's overcome. And I think he's going to see more love than he expects, especially if he remains as humble as he is. There's going to be things outside his control, like how people feel about you stepping ahead of them. But as long as you're willing to put in the work, they will either get over themselves or drown in their own hatred. That's the God's honest truth. And most of the people that I've heard speak about Bronny don't have bad things to say about Bronny. They just, like his dad, don't like the circus around him. And that's not something I can't understand. We definitely get that. So I'm rooting for Bronny to the utmost. He's a Laker now, so I drafted Laker at that, which means something different to our franchise. You know, we appreciate his dad and what his dad's done coming here to change our franchise and fix our franchise. And bring a championship to our franchise. Also, some things have happened that ultimately people want to blame him for. I don't know. I've had mixed feelings about some of the things that have happened on LeBron's watch. But, you know, now that his son is here, that's an entirely different dynamic. Because his son was drafted a Laker. and if you're a Laker fan, you know how much we appreciate guys that we draft. Whether they're here or not. We still got love for everybody we draft. Hell, I'm paying attention to what's going on with Jay Huff. You understand what I'm saying? He just signed a 2-way deal with a team. I don't remember exactly which team it was. I feel like a hypocrite. But I saw it yesterday, and I was just thinking to myself, we should have kept Jay Huff. Like, we pay attention to damn near everybody who's drafted. You know, Josh Hart, still rooting for Josh Hart. Still like B.I., still like Lonzo. You know what I mean? Want to see him come back healthy. So, you know, when you win a championship with us, it's definitely different. But when you're drafted a Laker, it's different in a different way. And so that's something that he will always have. And we're going to always have his back. So that's what I want to say. I think there's a lot of support surrounding Bronny, even though we understand the circumstances and they are hateable circumstances. I don't think this is a hateable guy. And if he continues to be who he's been, I don't think the hate will come as any more so from people who would otherwise be neutral. You know what I mean? I don't think people are going to just develop a hate for this kid like they may have done his father. I doubt it. I really doubt it. So that's all I want to say, man. Hopefully his development goes well. It's going to be a handicap having him on the roster as it pertains to a roster spot. I would much rather him be on a 2-way for the strategy of building a team this year. But I am glad he's here. I didn't want to see him go to Phoenix or Boston or Indy or something like that. I didn't want to see that. I'm glad he's here. And hopefully he goes well, man. Hopefully he goes well. Hopefully he's doing the work right now and putting himself in a position to be ready for the spotlight. Hopefully our team is, has his best interest at heart as it pertains to putting him in the G League and allowing him to get the minutes necessary, not just slapping him next to our main guys and telling them to go. I just think that's a setup for failure, and if we're serious, we won't do that. Nor will we allow anybody else to coerce us into doing that to him. I get having him on the floor with his dad a little bit this year. That's a good thing, but not every night, unless he just blows us away with the ability to do that, which he has yet to do in the summer league. So, that's what it is, man. I don't blame a young kid who's trying to make a basketball team for feeling a little frustrated or jealous with the circumstances. These are jealousable for circumstances. Just made up a word, jealousable, but you get what I'm trying to say. This is the environment for which jealousy is naturally, organically inspired. You give a guy who's not developed, who doesn't appear to be on the level with other guys, an opportunity that those guys could never have, and then tell them to work for an opportunity that maybe they cannot get because of the circumstance for which he's in. It's hateable. It is what it is. So you can't blame anybody but the Lakers and the James gang for pushing Bronny into this position, creating this environment for which things can just naturally be despised. You know, it is what it is. But they didn't care, and now here we are. So that's what comes with it. Bronny's going to be the one who takes the brunt of that, for whatever it's going to be. So as unfortunate as it is, we also appreciate the idea that he's able to be here and be a Laker for us, and we hope he can contribute to championship glory someday. That's really what it's about. His dad did. It would be great to see him do the same. Contribute. Be a part of this thing. Stay for a long time. It doesn't have to go the way the haters want it to go. It doesn't have to go the way it's set up to go. It's up to Bronny to put in the work, seize the moments when he's on the court, and play the game the right way. And if he takes care of what he's supposed to take care of, I think everything will fall into place for that young man. He's already shown he could overcome things that a lot of us couldn't when he came back from that heart situation, got back on the floor right away. So this isn't a weak person. That much I'm certain of. So yeah, man, not mad at the sources. I don't expect for them to put their names on stuff like this. I don't doubt that this could have been made up by somebody who wanted to say they have sources who didn't. This is all possible. But I do think this probably came from somebody in that locker room in the summer league, and I do think they're valid statements that were made, man. Very valid. It is what it is. Nepotism for you, man. Somebody gets pushed in the easy way, and as a result, somebody doesn't get an opportunity that may have come their way, had that not been the case. This is the devil in the details. This is why it's actually not cool. It really isn't. Video 44. I thank you all for watching.